welcome to a new weekly vlog. It is early in the morning. It's very grey outside, which I kind of love because it's been too hot anyway. Can I put you down here? And I'm about to get ready and stuff for work. I am going to make breakfast. Then I'm leaving for work. We're going to a little fair today. This is a great angle. And then book news. I am slumping harder than I feel like I have ever slumped. No, that's a bit dramatic, but I just feel like I'm not reading, I'm not picking up anything. But hopefully today, this weekend, because it's Friday, I can redeem myself. But I've been saying that every day. And it's not like, because like of work, I was scared I wouldn't have time and like, what was I going to say? Not feel like reading. If I put this mic on me, we could talk and cook. If we do like this. In my head, I knew that I was going to have less time when I started work. Oh God, you can only see nothing. Well, whatever. And granted, yes, I do, but I also have more time because when I get home, I can read. But lately, I have not done so. So, I feel really bad about it. Yeah, my current audio is Twilight, which, say what you will. Twilight has many problematic aspects, and it's really weird. But I'm stuck to loving Twilight forever, apparently. However, I'm planning to do like a little Twilight vlog, which is coming this fall. So I might like drop talking about it that much here because I hate repeating myself, you know? So yeah, then I clearly have to read something else. So that, well, also you never see me because the only thing I've been talking about in the last vlog at least was my audios. But I'm soon done with Twilight anyway. And I don't think I'm going straight into New Moon anyway. And I forgot to toast my bread. I am also currently reading is Wrath, the last in the Faithful and the Fallen. Live show is the 27th of July. So obviously I need to finish that before then. But this vlog, I'm planning 4 vlogs in July for some reason. So I'm reading a bit in that every day. Very much enjoying that so far. Then we need to see what else I pick up. I know I don't even have glasses on because I took on lenses. Because we're going to the fair thing, Tivoli, I don't even know what to call it. Because of that, we're going to fly a bit everywhere, right? And then I was just like, well, if you're flying everywhere, I can't wear my glasses. I could obviously just take them off, but then I can't see anything. And generally, in general, I do like to see. Either way, I don't really have anything else to say right now. Start listening to Twilight when I leave, and well, not when I leave, but like now when I'm cooking and eating. That was my toasted bread. So you should see me soon. Hello, it is the next day. As you saw, I actually edited a video, which I haven't done since last week, and I have finished a book, which I haven't done since last week, if you don't count the audiobooks. Yesterday, I did listen to, because I don't think I talked about it, I finished Twilight at work. Did I say that? I don't remember. But then I listened to Finna. Have I already said this? I'm getting like a flash in my head that I already talked about this. I don't know. And The Effect, both by Nino Kipri, which was a Go Machine from Sarah from last month, but I didn't get to them last month, but I'm getting to them this month. Finna is about a couple that had broken up, but then they need to together jump into these dimensions to look for someone's grandma. And it's a lot about like they work kind of in this department store, but it's like dimensional portal open up in a department store, and they definitely do not get paid enough to do this job, but they are doing it anyway. And then like they have like a lot of issues between them because they just had this breakup, etc. And it's kind of humoristic, but also like very, what's it called, vulnerable as well because of this relationship between them. I listened to this whole thing at work because it was a very chill day at work. And while I just started, I already had like at least one audiobook day, which like I love that for me, honestly. And then I started The Effect, but finished it today, which was a short, but it has a different main character. It's one of the dimensions that one of the characters are connected to. But it was definitely not about like the first book. So I still feel like there's unresolved matter from the first book, and definitely could be more in the series to come. But it is so far only 2 books. And like I haven't seen anything announced that it would be more. But I still feel like there's some parts of like from the first book, because it's a very short 148 novella, that are unresolved and I want to see more of. And it was like hinted to it in the first one. And I thought we would get more of it, but then it was totally focused on something else. Here we had like clones, and we also had like another kind of department store worker, even though he wasn't really working in the department store, but he was still like working, and then like how the company doesn't value him, etc. So there's a lot about like how companies, etc. treat workers in general, like that commentary in these. There's like, you know, sci-fi and dimensions and different universes, etc. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this. It was obviously like a very different kind of plot in this one and in the first one, but I still thoroughly enjoyed both and gave them both 4 stars. So that was my 2 audios. I also yesterday finished Ambassa with Erica that we listened to as well. At this point, I have very like little overview in my head of what like audiobooks I talked about or not here. But basically like all my last 6 reads has been audios, because like this whole week I only listened to audio and reading my daily pages in Wrath. Ambassa is a League of Legends novel following Ambassa, who was a character I was first introduced in Arcane, which is the Netflix animation show. And then a novel was written by C.L. Clarke. I do own a physical copy, it's just not in this room. Finished that yesterday, or we finished it because Erica and I listened to it together. And we were honestly very bored and kind of disappointed because we love Ruination and we both get it 5 stars. And that is also set in the League of Legends world, just another part of it with different characters. And we generally both love the lore of the world, and we both have been playing the game for years. But this one was very boring. It's about Bessa like taking control of the family after the last patriarch died in a way. And there's a lot of like political intrigue and like different battles and traveling and stuff. But I just feel like it could have been basically any book. I didn't feel like we were in the League of Legends world. And I don't think the politics enough were, I don't even know, like they weren't intriguing enough to be interesting. And I feel like parts of it, I was just like, this, I just felt it didn't make sense to me because one character just said something and everyone was just like, yeah, it's probably right. And I was just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And it was super annoying. I didn't hate it. We were just generally bored with it and disappointed in it. And we both gave it like 2.5, rounding up to 3. So today, I actually continued on the series. I realized that is not in this vlog, but I've been reading through the last 2 vlogs. I've been reading through Sisters Ever After series by Leah Cypress. The first book is in my past. I went on holidays, but I want to complete the series before, because while I do enjoy them, but I will forget they exist if I don't read them all now. So I just read Braided, which is that the 5th in the series? And this one is a Rapunzel retelling. The last one I read, I thought was a Rapunzel retelling because of the cover. It looked like she was Rapunzel, but this is Rapunzel. And we follow Rapunzel's younger sister. It's about Rapunzel coming back after she became kidnapped and being in the fairy world, and her like adjusting to having her sister back, and then her sister Rapunzel not being what anyone expected. Their hair is magical, and like they use it to protect their kingdom from the Fae. And I did enjoy it, actually. I thought it was a sweet sister relationship. I thought it had good developments. Rapunzel annoyed me a bit, honestly, but also she's traumatized, so it's fine. And I did like the lore of like the magic, etc., and how like the story developed. even though I could kind of guess where it was going the whole time, it was so cute and fun. And I feel like as a person who really, really, for example, loved Rapunzel, especially like the Tangled, the Disney movie, I still enjoyed it and had a good time. And I'm giving it a 3, which is like, if I was younger, I might have loved it, but I still enjoyed it and would recommend it for its target audience, or if you like middle grade. And that was my short review. I will now read more because apparently now I can read again when I don't have work today because it's Saturday today. Even though I feel like I do have time in the weekdays, I just don't read because I'm an idiot. The book I'm going to read, it's not the next and last in the Sisters Ever After, because I'm taking a little break to read The Devil Aspect by Craig Russell. This is Aslag's Gun Machine pick. I mentioned it in my last vlog. I don't even know if people like to watch vlogs in like as if they're watching episodes, but that is how in my head they work. So like if I mention it in one vlog, I sometimes forget to mention it in the next, since I in my head feel like this is like episode 3 of July. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. But I'm reading this. I don't know what it's about, but Asa loves it. And the whole expires in 3 days because I haven't been reading, you know. So I should read it. Hopefully I will read the whole thing today because I am on sprints with patrons and it's only like 17:19, so I do have time. And I don't have any other plans. And it's only 400 pages. So I shall let you know what it's about when I started it and read more or finished it. And you should see that. Yay. It is later and I'm about to go to bed. There is work tomorrow and all that, so I need to go to bed early. But I have actually finished a couple of things. So the last thing I told you yesterday was I was going to read The Devil Aspect and I was going to update you what it was about, and then I never did, which is, you know, common for me. Can we stand somewhere? I'm like, just like, where do I put you? Feels more focused because else I can't stand still, and then I just walk around and then we already see. Read and finished The Devil Aspect, which follows this psychiatrist that is gonna study people who are like saying that they have seen the devil and that is why they did bad things. So it's like the Devil 6. There's 6 people on them living in this like psychiatrist place. At the same time, we do have ongoing unrest going on in Europe at this time. We are in, is it Prague we are in? And then like there's like people, because like the Nazis are starting to come out. We're in the 1930s, I believe. For example, we have like a Jewish love interest. There's a lot about like the things starting to happen in Europe as well. But then also him investigating, and not investigating, but he's trying out these new like sessions with the patients because he believes that he can find out why they like this and to cure them. And then also there's murders happening in the actual city, and then maybe this like research can help finding like the killer because it's like horrific murders happening. And then it starts playing out from there. You kind of don't know how it's gonna go, and I definitely like when I now know the answers, I feel a bit stupid not realizing what was actually going on, because honestly like it wasn't obvious, but it felt not obvious when it was revealed either. But the book really tricked you. But I feel like I'm a smarter person than me maybe would have figured it out earlier. But the plot twist was great, and I am a sucker for a really good plot twist, and I thought honestly it was a great time. I was just like gasping in the end because I was just like, where is all this gonna go? Because it definitely was just like amping more and more up, and then it was just like, I thought it was great. I really had a good time with it because it's definitely like a mystery, but we also go into psychology a bit, and then also like we have these interviews with these people who did terrible things, and we go into details. For example, one of them, she ate her husband, etc. And then like we all like go into the different like evilness of them in a way, and like the different reasons. And I felt like it is interesting because you don't know what each person like did, and then like you're trying to like figure out how these people connect with what is going on in the book. And I was just like, again, felt silly when like it was revealed what was really going on, but it's still, again, super good. I was thinking about giving it a 5 because honestly I thought the plot twist for me was that great, but I ended up giving it a 4.5, but I ran it up to 5 on Goodreads and I had a marvelous time with it. Then I did read a manga, which was Come Can Communicate Volume 19. I really liked this cover, it's very cute. Just continuing Komi, who has a communication disorder, and then she's trying to get 100 friends. It's a very cute manga. I don't really have that much to say about it. As we are standing here, for some reason, both of my eyes started to run and itch, and I'm like, what is going on right now? It was super annoying. I was just like, felt like someone stabbed me in my eye instantly. And then today we had more sprints, but I had public sprints today and patron sprints yesterday. So I read more. First, I read Sea Swept, which is the last book in the Sisters Are After series, which like I've been reading now for like 2 weeks, I feel like. And like now I'm finally finished. So like now I can unhaul the first one. And this one was Little Mermaid retelling. We have the little sister of Little Mermaid. She is actually missing and she's trying to find her. It wasn't my favorite installment. It's a lot about like the politics of like the people on land not liking the mer people, which is often the case in these kinds of like retellings or like with mermaids, etc. And it was fine. Like I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, it was okay. I gave it like a low 3, I would say. And then I read another book. I read Silverborn, The Mystery of Morgan Crow, which is the 4th book in Nevermore, which we waited 5 years for. I have like the first 3, but I borrowed this at the library because the height that matches my first 3, which is in B-size paperback, doesn't come out until it's been like a year, I think. And I didn't want to like buy the newest one, even though like I really want to own it when it doesn't match my others. So I borrowed it in Libby, which is like then I could read it, but I don't like own the copy, and I will buy it when it comes out to match my others. And I honestly don't know how I felt about this because I really thoroughly love the series. It was Morgan Crow who thinks that she's gonna die on her 11th birthday, and then something magical happens instead, and she comes into this magical land, and it's kind of whimsical and funny and like magic school and different stuff like that. But in this one we focus kind of on this mystery instead, which is called what is called the mystery of Morgan Crow, and we find out more about her past, etc. But I just felt I was reading a completely different series. I feel like I was in Nevermore, and it's either because it's been so long since I read the other 3 and I need to reread them, but I felt like I had a really like good inkling for when like the 3rd book ended. I was just like, super shocked when that ended, and then I felt like this one had nothing to do with that, and I was just like, do I remember the 3rd book incorrectly? What is going on? I just felt like the vibes were different, and I know it's again because it's been so long since I read the others, even though I did read the 3rd book in 2022, so it's not that long ago because I didn't read it when it was released. I still just felt completely off. I was just like, what is going on? So I don't know if it's because I didn't reread and I was just like put off, and in my head I just felt like the series felt really different, and I personally like didn't love it because of this. I might reread when more installments in the series has come out, however long that takes. I do believe it's going to be 5 or 7 books. I don't even remember at this point. This is not the last one at all. I just felt like a very much like middle book in nowhere that didn't fit in the series for me, and that is how I feel right now. I still enjoy the characters, etc., but it might just have to do with me not remembering it that well, and I gave it a 3 because of this, which is like again a low 3, I would say. And that is all I read for today. Me and Erica after that, because I had like an hour before now I need to really go to bed, watch the first episode of the K-drama Business Proposal. So far really liking it for the first episode. It was very fun and cute. It's a long time since I watched a K-drama, I feel like, but I watched them here and there as I do, because I watch in general little than I used to do because I read and do other stuff instead. But at least I got a bit out of my slumpy because I read like 4 books plus a manga this weekend. I mean, I did also read on Friday, which is that counting part as the weekend? I don't know. But then I did finish books then, and then I finished audios, etc. And yeah, it's a new day tomorrow. I need to think about what I want to read. I think I decided, but I'm not 100% sure. But now I'm going to bed, and you should see me tomorrow. Yay, Monday. Yay, work week. No, yay. Have some minutes before I need to leave, so I thought I could tell you what's up. I hate talking with headphones on, but here we are. I have started a new audio yesterday, which is Goldsmith by Nikki Powerpreto. This is the sequel to... Actually, I can't do this. It's muffling my voice. It's really weird. Now I feel like my head became very small. I was squished. And this is a sequel to Bondsmith, which is about a girl who like kills spirits in a way, and then she's exiled after this mistake, and then she is suddenly out in the wilderness on the run with the enemy of her family, and they are like supposedly evil, etc. And then she's on this ride, and you need to figure out what's up, basically. I thought the first one was really fun. I read it or listened to it for the favorite log, which is why I'm listening to the sequel now. Actually, I was going to listen to New Moon, but then all the copies were busy. And I was like, I need an audio instantly. And I have 2 other audios on hold. I usually have like 3 audios waiting for me when I finish one. Now I had 0, so I could go like backlist a bit. Even though granted this is not on my actual TBR, because I don't own it, but I wanted to complete the duology before I forget everything from the first one. But so far enjoying it. They are continuing the adventure. There's backstabbing, and I like the characters, etc. So I'm enjoying it, I think, as much as the first one, which I can't remember if I gave it 3 or 4, but it was still like fun enough that I want to complete it, but I don't think I need to own it. Then I started the next one on my list. Not list, piles. The piles on my floor. Wait, the book is over here. It was really hard to get it. It was underneath other stuff. Oh no. The mic is so far away. I'm just going to show you the book and then I'm going to take off the mic again. Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, Margot Lanigan, and Deborah Biancotti. This is kind of like they have powers. We have different POVs. And then one of our main characters has kind of fought with the other zeros, which is what they call themselves as a superhero group. And he's on his own, and then he's kind of involved with this accidental bank robbery, and then they come to save him, and we are on the run from the police, etc. We have a lot of characters. I don't really... we started out slowly with like 2 POVs, and then we got more and more and more. I'm struggling to have an overview of them, because I don't feel like care enough to have an overview of them, and that they have really distinct voices from each other. We have different powers, but I actually don't know all of them. Some are cool, some are like a bit whatever. The main character has like this voice that kind of does its own thing a lot, which is kind of evil a bit, so I kind of enjoy that. I wonder if like, is this an evil villain origin story we shall see. It's a fast read, but I don't know if I would keep it, because so far I'm feeling a bit like, meh, like the plot is a bit boring. There's too many POVs, and it's annoying because on the headline of the POVs, we have like their superhero name, but then in like the actual chapter, like for example, I can't come up with an example, like in actual chapters we have the real name, so I get confused of who's who. At least like take the superhero name / the real name, so I can have an overview of which chapter we're actually in. That might just also be me, because I don't feel as immersed as I should be, but it's fine, and I will read the other 2 because I have the whole trilogy, of course. I don't hate it, I don't love it. We should see if that has like a good ending, and then maybe I will feel more inclined towards it then. I was going to finish it yesterday, but then time slipped away. I did actually read though when I came home from work, but then I procrastinated a lot as well. But like, I was lying in the couch in the cold, because we have air conditioning in there, and I was reading. And if I read for 1.5 an hour more, I could have finished it, but then I wanted to watch Business Proposal instead, and then I went to bed. Okay, so now I need to go to work, and we'll probably finish that today. And then I'm thinking if I either start a sequel or another book, because I need to read something else for another read along a bit to start that as well. But we shall see, because we might need to shop, and that takes like ages as well. And then all the time has suddenly passed for this day. So yeah, I will keep you updated. Yay. I love how as we progressed into this vlog, I just became worse and worse at updating. But I'm going to work again. I did finish Zeros yesterday. It was a bit like boring. It was very much about like, I don't know, I just feel like to be a superhero thing, it wasn't that interesting. It was just like teens being like, oh no, he's missing. Oh, not missing, but like on the run, and then try to solve it. And it was dramatic, but not dramatic enough. It felt very like low key, considering they had superpowers in a way. Maybe like the conflict becomes bigger as we go on, but it was just like, I found it a bit interesting in the beginning, as like we got to know the main characters, or one of the main characters' powers, and then it kind of lost me a bit, so I gave it like a 2.5. So that was Zeros. Then I could read a manga, which was Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 25, so I read that as well, which I don't even know how to explain Jujutsu Kaisen anymore. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Stuff happened here I've been waiting for a long time. But since I've been waiting for it for such a long time, I was just a bit like, when it happened, which is a bit sad. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the series and don't think it's cool. I feel like the way the manga's written has lost me slightly. Then I'm about to go to work, as I said. Still listening to Bonesmith, but it seems to be very soon done, so I might listen to that done today. But then my next is Swarm, which is the sequel to Zeros. So I'm hoping to finish this trilogy. I have the last one as well, and then I can unhaul. This is the last day for this vlog, apparently. I looked at the day today, and I have still not posted a single vlog, but it will all work itself out. So yeah, and then I watched Business Proposal yesterday, and I also watched Are You Sure, which is Jungkook and Jimin traveling, and they are so cute. I love them. So I watched like 2 episodes of that yesterday, and the episodes were long, so that took me like a whole afternoon. But then I already like finished Zeros, and I was just like, I don't need to read more, and then I read Jujutsu Kaisen later. So yay. So obviously I managed to go to bed, and I realized that I actually had to end this vlog so that it ends on the day it's supposed to end. I did finish Swarm today. It was quite boring, actually. It was more boring at first. I guess it all depends on if you care about the characters, etc. I just feel like I didn't care, and I gave it a 2, and I will read the 3rd, but I can't borrow the 3rd, because I had to read the 2nd on that round and the 1st on the B, but then the 3rd doesn't have like an ebook unless I buy it, obviously, so I had to read the physical, and then if I'm going to bring it with me, I just don't bother. So yeah, I shall read it hopefully before July is over. But then since I didn't have that with me, I sneak read a bit today because it was very quiet. I also read We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. This one I owned for years and years and years. I bought it like a billion years ago when I used to go to the bookstore and just find books I was interested in and buy them. Obviously, I still read that occasionally, but not as much because now I usually like heard about the books I pick up before I buy them. And I remember like I saw this and I was like, oh my god, a contemporary, that looks cool. It's actually more about like a meteor is coming and everyone on Earth is gonna die. And then it showed just like kids basically living before that. But I have read this concept before in another one called The End by Mats Strandberg, and I really loved that one. It had like, I feel like it was just written really well, and I really care for the characters, and here I felt like all of them blended together. I was trying to do like a typical like American contemporary with this concept, and I just like didn't feel for them, and I didn't care. And I might have felt differently if I read this when I first bought it, whenever that was like almost 10 years ago. And there's a reason this one is in the piles because I owned it for so long. But it gotta go. I read it now, and I just feel like nothing towards it. I give it a 2. I feel like this concept and the book could have worked for someone else, but it didn't work for me. So I don't know my reading plans exactly for tomorrow. It will be something in the piles, hopefully. And then that will be in the next vlog, the last one for July. And I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired, and we're still watching Business Proposal. It's so fun to like end the night with that, and then I go to bed, and yeah, now I'm gonna sleep. So thank you so much for watching this. I don't know what happened in this anymore. I do believe we went to the carnival in this one. It's not even a carnival. It's called something else. Like a fair, I don't even know. I have no idea, but it's been hot. But I feel like I used the hot emoji last week. I don't even know what's going on. I used another summer hot emoji this week because that's all I can think of. And you should see me see a new one. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. I took off the lights and I was going to sleep, and I didn't bother taking the mic on again, but I forgot to mention I did finish my audio as well, which was Goldsmith by Nikki Perpeto. It was a good time. I think it was a good conclusion to the trilogy. I liked not the trilogy, duology. I liked the characters. I liked the world. I think it had some good plot twists. I had a generally good time with it. I'm giving it like a 3.5 running up to 4, I would say. And I liked the first one as well. Problem is I don't know what is the audio now because all of my holes have not come in. But maybe I should try to listen to something in the piles to get a bit of, what's it called? Speed it up a bit. But this is the version. So I'm gonna go now. For real this time. Bye. See you in the next video.